Hello everybody, I'm Skaria, and in this video I just wanted to share my tips for the spring event. So as you can see over here, um, we have the spring event in progress, and today's special is the spring selection kit. So I've been holding a few of my lanterns for today, and I'm hoping to see how effectively I'm gonna be at the daily specials. Um, so what I wanted to share over here today was this spreadsheet that I've created, um, which is which is quite inspired by if you haven't seen Moving Cats. If you have seen Moving Cats spreadsheet for St. Patrick's Day, that's where I was inspired to create this one as well, and that is a far more complex spreadsheet than compared to this one. Um, this one is more. I don't feel it provides as much value as that one. I mean, and this event is not as complex as the St. Patrick's Day event. However, I feel there are some pockets where this could provide some value. So I'll just quickly take before I take you through the spreadsheet. I just maybe we'll just cover some of the basics of the spring event. So if you guys are not familiar, there's the Forge of Empires fandom page where they provide some help regarding the spring events, and there's also several videos. There's FOI Elite and Moving Cat and FOI Tips, FOI Hints, who provides some of the basics for the different events. So it'll be good to get across those videos as well. The basic concept over here is um, so that's the event building. That's the Sushin mill. So you got to get it to level 9 to get a fully upgraded building, and that's my target as well, to get to the highest level. Um, so yeah, the concept is surrounding these animals over here. So you got white, bronze, silver, and gold, and that the lily pads correspond to the distance that they cover. So you can see that the whites don't cover much distance. So bronze covers 2, silver 3, and gold 4. And each of them come with a cost as well. So the cost is mentioned a bit further down. So right there. So you got the gold animals, there's 3 gold over here, and they all have a cost around the 150s. So what that means is you spend 150 lanterns and you cover 4 lily pads. And also there's the daily special, which is how much chance you get at getting the daily special using that particular animal. You got the silvers over here, which are a bit less. It's a bit cheaper. It's in the 110s and covers 3. And these, by calculations, are the most effective for distance. So if you're aiming for the mill, and these are the your first preference right there. Then you got the bronze, which covers 2 and cost 84, 79, 80, and then you got the white animals. Now there is a table over here which displays how best the animals are placed for distance. So just sorted by that. So you want to look at the low number. So it means that the silver animals right there, they get you the cheapest way to get most distance. So it's just 36 to cover 1 lily pad, whereas you get a butterfly, it's 55 to cover 1 lily pad, and you have a fixed number of lily pads, fixed number of lanterns. Sorry, so that's the lanterns per lily pad. If you were going for the daily specials, then you would sort it by daily specials, and you would use that one again. The cost, the cheapest to get the highest percentage. So you want to go with the white. I think the rabbit is white. Yeah, white animal right there. Now those the daily specials which nobody knows about. So you can see I'm on day 20 right now. Spring kit is open, and we still don't know. I mean, I think it's between, if I mean, we know that I think the shrine has to repeat, so one of these will be the shrine, and I think the other one is some other rush kit or something. And these are quite fixed. These are what you get after you cover each pond. So and then you got the league where you end up. So that's just the basics. So I'm not going too much into it. You can look at other videos, and you can go through this page to understand a bit more of the event. Uh, what I'll take you quickly through is my spreadsheet. Now what I have over here, I've got a table over here which um, goes from pawn 1 to pawn 9. Now you can go further than this. The reason I've stopped at pawn 9 is that's where I need to cross to get to the last mill upgrade. Now that's because I have a event surprise box from the previous which covers one upgrade. So if you have that, then you would need to cover the ninth pawn. If you don't have that, I think you need to cover two more pawns. And I've looked at a few forums, and I don't think it's possible unless you spend diamonds to get the extra lanterns. So I got the pawns over there, I got atoms over here. Now these are again variables, so these can go go up to 25. If you use white animals, you have 25 atoms to cover one pawn, and I've used silver, and you can see it's less than 10. Now in each pawn, I put the cost, so that's what I spent, and that's the lily pads I have covered. So you can see that's a silver animal if you look at the table. So the 110s and there's a gold over there, the 151. That's covered 4 pads. And this would add up to 25. So each pond is 25 in distance, 25 lily pads in distance, and I've been tracking how I've been progressing all along. So for the first pond, I've used so much silver and gold. I've spent a total of 924 lanterns, covered the 25 lily pads, covered pond 1, got the first grand prize, whatever. And for the second one, I had to use a lot more gold, and it's costed me a bit more. So you can see from here itself that the more silver you use, the cheaper your total is gonna be. Here I didn't get much silver. I was given more gold animals, so I had to use them, and I ended up spending 943 to cover the 25 pounds. At pawn 3, again I used silver and gold, and the last one I had 2 and got stuck with the bronze, so spent 935 to cover 25 pounds. And here I just covered one lily pad. That's where I am right now, pawn 4 start. So that's basically all the costs across. So this section over here just gives you some of the trends and projections. So that's the total lanterns I have used so far. So that's just the sum of all these ones that I've used. It's coming to 2,900. That's the distance I've covered. So that's the 25, 25, 25, 3, 78. And okay, so just with this again, this remaining jumps is basically how much. So I don't have anything to cover in that. Here I have 22 to cover. I have covered 3, I got 22 more, and from here I have the full 25 to cover. So this is just showing me how much I have covered. So it's 78 lily pads, and then this is the average cost. So that's how I'm traveling right now, the rolling average. So I'm spending 37.33 per lily pad. So that'll keep changing as I progress. That's the I have 147 to cover, so you can see this is going to be a total 225. So 9 pawns, 25 each, 225. I've covered 78. I got 147 to go, and based on this average, I would need 5,488 for the lanterns to make the trip to get to the ninth pond. So these are just some static values. So that's the total for the 2021 spring event. The total is 7980 lanterns, and that's I've just put my 225, which is the target. The lily pads need to be covered. These yellow ones are editable. Everything else is calculated, and so this whole section can be edited, and these yellow ones can be edited. So so that's where you enter your values. Everything else is all formulas. Now it's up to you. You are free to change the formulas, make tweaks, extend this spreadsheet, make it more complex. But yeah, for someone who just wants to use it, these would be the values that you enter. Now I put the days left as basically it's the number of quests remaining. So I got one more quest remaining. So let's see over here. We've completed 61. So there's one more quest remaining. So it's a guaranteed. It's just to calculate what's how many lanterns are yet to be received. So it's 290 to be received from now till the end of the event. That's lanterns used, and that's the expected balance. That's I should probably remove that. There's no use for that field over here. That's just the value you would end up with if you didn't get any incidents or didn't use any diamonds. Now, this is also something, if you have a record of it, you'd enter that there. So that's the incidents or the lanterns you got from different incidents, and if you spend diamonds. So for me, I've got close to 1,000, more than 1,000 lanterns through incidents. um, so based on that, it just calculates. So it's saying that I have, at this point in time, I have 5,811 lanterns, and I think that would be correct. Yeah, so 5,811 lanterns. The total, that's just including the what's to be received. So I mean, that's what I'll end up with. So based on that, it's just giving me, based on my trend of 37, I might get I have a surplus of 600 plus lanterns, so I can do an additional 16 lily pads above the ninth pond. So what that means is that I can go into the 10th pond, but I won't be able to complete the 10th pond. So the 10th pond is 25. So this just gives you an indicator whether you should really go for the 10th pond, the 10th grand prize, or if you should focus on maybe the daily specials. Now the other thing that you can use it for is basically where you are with the league standings. So this is just a value saying that, I mean, right now I have covered 278 lily pads. If I had used all of my lanterns, so if I had used the 5,800, I would have covered 233 lily pads. And using that, you can just check where that puts you. So that's me right there, 78. I'm in hobby. But if I had used all my lanterns, I'd be in 233, which is puts me in silver, which is a good place to be. But I have a feeling this is going to change. Definitely, gold is quite out of reach, 300 plus. Pretty sure that's diamond spenders right there. But for me, if I had used, I'd be in silver, and this is what the spreadsheet thinks where I'll end up at the end of the event. So it thinks if I get all the 6,100 lanterns, I would end up with 241 lily pads. So where does that put me? Definitely not gold, maybe silver. Um, but again, this is all going to change, because if everyone starts traveling now, or starts making jumps right now, and they're big spenders, then this is going to shift. It's going to keep moving. So it's not very accurate, but it just gives you a rough picture of where you might end up. Now, I think this I think is going to be something that's going to give some value. At least this is what I'm going to use the spreadsheet for. This just shows me what I've done is I've taken the worst cost in the animal category. So in the white, I've taken 55, which is, I think, the butterfly or something. It's the most expensive in the white, and the bronze 84. So this is the cost per pad. So for 2 pads it would be 84, and the silver is 113 by 3, because you're covering 3 pads, and gold. So you can see the cost per pad over here. And this is just a rough calculation. So from this point, basically it's just telling me from this point on, if I were to use only white animals, and that to the worst white animal, I would cover 610 lily pads, and I need to cover 147 to get to the 9th pond. So that's, I'm short 36 lily pads. So it just tells you that, well, man, it's quite clear that I'm not going to use the white. It's just going to fail me. The next one is the bronze. Now, if I use the bronze, I am going to get close to the end of the 9th pond, but I'm still 1.7 lily pad short. So definitely I can't use the bronze animal. So then these two, which are going to give me, like, if I use silver, I get 15 extra jumps and 13 extra with the gold. So these would be my focus. Now where this is going to be interesting is as you start using silver, these numbers are going to change, and there's going to be a tipping point where the bronze becomes a positive number. And when the bronze becomes a positive number, I'm going to use the bronze animal, because with the bronze I get an, so that's where this column comes into picture. So this is the number of chances, the number of attempts that you get. Now if you are going for the daily specials, you want to have the most number of attempts, because you want, with the white you get 110, so that's 110 chances that getting the daily special. You won't get that with any other animal. But then with the white you won't complete the pond, complete the ninth pond. So my plan is to use the silver where I can, and to use it to a point where the bronze becomes 0 or a positive number, and then I'm going to use the bronze, because that's going to give me 70 plus chances. Well, it won't be 70, but it'll give me more chances than the silver. So this little table I think is of some value. It'll just give you a picture of whether, when you can switch animals to a more chance friendly or a more daily special friendly animal, plus cover the ninth pond. So yeah, so basically that's it there. That's it about the Excel. Now I know that, I mean, this is quite pedantic, and I mean, I've been keeping a record, but I don't think everyone's been keeping a record of how they've been traveling. So I have another sheet over here, which is going to be a lot more estimated than the other one. Now if you know how many lanterns you have in hand, you can put that in. If you are aware of the incidents, put that in, and then that'll just calculate, because what we want to find is how much have you used. And so this will just calculate how much you have used. Now if you know how much you have used, you just put that in directly in there. So in this exercise I have 5,000 in hand, I've got 200 incidents, so it's just calculating using the total to get the 2130. Once I get that, I have to split it across how many hour ponds I've done. So in this case I split 700, 700, 700, and 30. So that adds up to the 2130, and that means that I've also covered the 25, 25, 25 for the first three, and I've just put a 2 over there. So that gets some of these things to work. Now where it's not gonna work is basically where it's highlighted in red. So this, because it's all estimated, this is not reliable anymore, that number. And because that number is not reliable anymore, some of these ones are completely not reliable. It can still be used for this table, I think, because it just has, yeah, should still be used for this table. But yeah, whatever's in red, yeah, you can't rely on those numbers. So yeah, I think I'll stop with Excel. I will upload this one onto the drive and put a link to it. But yeah, I just wanted to basically share my 2 cents on the spring event, and maybe I will try to put my have a go at the spring event, and maybe I can record that and put that up as well, and we'll see how it goes. Cheers guys.